Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking into some of the reasons why your data pack or command block creation might be broken with the coming patch of Minecraft 1.21. Before I get fully into this, full disclaimer, a lot of these changes were done in Minecraft 1.20.5, but I wanted to make this video about 1.21 because I think a lot of people are, like myself, coming back to Minecraft because of this big new update. So that is the purpose of doing that. So if you've already gone through all the changes of 1.20.5, you can go ahead and skip these videos, but you might find something that you haven't seen before, so may as well stick around. So I've been doing a bunch of big changes recently. I made this map in 1.20, and I am now working on changing a bunch of the command blocks from the old command format to the new command format. So I wanted to share a couple of the most common commands that have been changed in the game and how to fix them, as well as one very important data pack detail that needs to be changed that will actually completely break your data pack unless you change it. So the first thing is, let's talk about the things that haven't changed. So most mob tags, so like if I do /summon a pig, or let's do slime. Slime's a better example because there's a lot more tags involving slimes. So if we do that, and then we can go for some MBT tags, we can do like size :12, and that summons a size 12 slime. So stuff like that. Stuff like that is pretty much exactly the same as it is before. The only things that changed were the item tags, and that is because of the new components feature. Now, the name components, it doesn't have that much importance, but it's just what they're calling the new thing. If you hover over it, instead of saying NBT or anything like that, it says 8 components when you hover over any type of item. That's just what they're calling NBT now, basically, and it's a new system that actually stores things pretty well. So the two things that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be custom data, which used to be called tags, and custom names, which used to, I think it used to just be called names. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, so it used to be in this format of display name text. So I'm going to go into my data pack, and I'm going to show you some of the new ways to do this. I also have a couple of links in the video description that I'm going to have. The first one is going to be a link to the snapshot that changed most of the commands. And the second thing I'm going to show you is a command generator that I use, that I have used before this big change and after this big change, because they have done a lot of changes, they just haven't completely perfected it. So, without further ado, I'm actually going to go into the data pack section of this video. Okay, so if we go into our data packs folder, mine is called the Challengers pack because this is my game called Challengers Division. So when you have a data pack, if you're watching this video, you probably know you have a namespace folder and you have the Minecraft folder. The namespace folder has one very significant change, and you might not even notice it looking at it right now, but this folder used to be called functions with an S. It is now called function. It will not function if you don't change it from functions to function. So it was a very silly thing that actually got me stuck for a pretty long time, and you also have to change that in the Minecraft namespace folder. So the one that refers to your load.json and tick.json files, in both sections, you need to change that folder's name to function, or it will not work at all. So with that, let's get into the tick. And look at some of the new commands. So, there's a lot on screen here, but I'm gonna try and break it down for you. So, let's find an example of some of the thing that's changed. So now you can see, so this item right here, I have it having a custom name. And the custom name tag is pretty much the same as the one in the game. Let's see if I can look at it real quick. So if I go over here to the Reaper, its format is display name square bracket, curly bracket, text, right? So then if I go over here to Visual Studio Code, it is now in the format of just simply custom name. So instead of having that full display tag, it just has the custom name. Also, one very important thing to note about item MBTs, if I give myself a sword, for example, it is now square brackets instead of curly brackets. So it used to be curly brackets where you would put all the code for an item. Now it is square brackets. So if you wanted to do those custom names on items, you would have to use the square brackets now. So that was something that changed that is very significant. But you can see this is actually quite a lot simpler. They also made pretty much every single tag lowercase now instead of capitalized, so you don't have to worry about like capitals. So that's name. It's pretty simple now. And then you also have lore, and lore is really confusing. I'm not very good with the JSON formatting, so this is like particularly difficult for me. So what I would actually recommend for this is to actually use a command generator. So I'll show you this real quick. So just going into this, all you would need to do is find the item that you want. I'll use a diamond sword, for example. Make sure you switch this to 1.21. And then you can set a lore for it. Be like, hello, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if I do that, then it will have the lore like this. And it will show the command down here. You can either copy the command by clicking the button, or you can just copy the part that you want to copy and paste it in. But yeah, so this is what I would recommend for doing lore. For doing just the custom names, I would recommend just memorizing it because it's not that difficult. You basically put your text in, make sure you have these apostrophes on either side of the text that you want for the title, and then put the name in quotations after text, and then you can specify if it's italic or not. I think it defaults to being italic, unless you specify it to be false. And then you can set its color. You can either pick the colors that are already in the game, or you can do an RGB code to make it a custom color. So that's pretty much it for that. The next thing is custom tags. So for this, I'm actually going to go up to my ninja class here because they have a smoke bomb, which is actually just a snowball with some specific data coded into it so that it differs from other snowballs. So first of all, I have the custom model data, which is unchanged pretty much. But then you also have Minecraft custom data. And what you can do there is you can specify specific you can basically tag items. So this is what you used to use for tags, and these have some very trace examples. I'll show you what I use them for in the game. So as you can see, if I take a snowball and I throw it in the game, it doesn't do anything, right? But if I go over to my ninja items and I grab this smoke bomb, which is actually, this is a snowball. I just have a resource pack on that changes the model. If I throw that, it does a little smoke bomb effect. If I throw it on myself, I'm not the ninja class, but if I was, it would give me movement speed, resistance, stuff like that. So I gave it special effects according to its tag. If I didn't add the tag and I just affected every snowball, then any class that had any snowball would do that effect. This is important for me because I have other classes that have different effects that also have a snowball as a projectile. So that is where tags are useful. Tags are no longer called tags, they're called custom data. And then, this is also important, the way that you detect them is different. So it used to be that you would just do nbt equals and then find the tag. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So here we go. So this command right here is the command that detects my specific snowball and runs this chain of commands below it to put the specific effects on it. So you have type equals snowball, which is the entity you're trying to detect, and then you write nbt equals curly bracket item colon components. This is where components come in. You also have the curly bracket there. And then finally you go colon curly bracket Minecraft colon custom data, and then the specific tag you put in there. So smoke colon 1b is equivalent to the smoke colon true, which is up here. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you there, but that's pretty much how you detect custom tags now. Whereas before, I think it was a little bit simpler before, but now it's just a little bit more complicated. You might be wondering, how did I even find something like this? Because this wasn't actually something I found in the changelog of the snapshot, which is where I figured out most of this stuff. I actually figured this out by running /data get. I ran the data command on a snowball. So let me show you how I did that real quick, so you guys can figure out how to find any other tags you might be looking for. So let's go type equals snowball. So this will detect this nearest snowball. There's none right now, but I'll throw it and then detect it. So here we go. So we can go entity data. So as the motion, you have to really keep track of the brackets here to make sure you're doing everything right. So this is how I found the command line. So you see right here, I found item. This is where it starts. Item colon bracket components colon bracket quotations custom model data is where I found model data. And then I found custom name. I moved past that. And then I found custom data. And then that right there is what said smoke colon 1b. So then I copied that in and put it into the nbt equals, and that is how I got it to detect specifically that snowball. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. I'm constantly working on getting all of these command blocks not only converted to the new system, but I'm also moving all of this into a data pack instead of command blocks, because it's a lot, not because it's like easier to like run, but just because it's way easier for me to see all of the commands in a list like this instead of just all having to go through every single command block individually. But as I find more things that are kind of annoying or complicated to deal with, I will be sharing that with you guys. So hopefully you found out why your data pack might be broken, and you've got some solutions to fix it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.